I'm Leonard J. Siebert, and I'm a former medic at Sierra Vista Hospital. I've also been involved with weapons systems in the United States Air Force. In April 2011, when Fukushima happened, they had the tsunami and earthquake in Japan. 3 reactors blew at the hospital. I had recently become a first response officer for biological, radiological, or chemical incidents or attacks, so I thought it was my responsibility to be aware of what was happening in our environment. I have been researching the Fukushima issue since it began. I have not stopped. So when it blew up, and I have a picture for you, you can see the dust. Just imagine a steam calliope that hasn't been played in a while, being played for the first time, and a plume of dust coming out of those pipes. That plume of dust is pure plutonium. It went into our environment, our atmosphere, our oceans. On that day, the entire northern hemisphere got plutonium on it. What we're worried about is internal exposure. When these particulates, this fallout from Fukushima, goes in the wind, which it is, when it goes in our water, when it gets into our food source, when we take it in, now these little particulates that we've taken in, these little radioactive particles, are now bombarding the associated cells that it comes near. It's kind of like putting a little X-ray machine on each individual cell. This is on a microscopic scale, and it bombards it completely until basically you end up with a cancerous growth there. This is how solid cancers get formed. When the first year this happened, I warned people within 5 years we're going to start seeing cancer rates go up. Well, you can't see radiation. It's a beautiful day today. We're having a wonderful time. Enjoying the sun, enjoying the air, the breeze. So you don't feel it get into you. And you won't know it until 5, 10, maybe 20 years down the line. And if we don't see it, it's a fire that we cannot put out because we cannot see it. Los Angeles, Northern California, and 4 other spots in California are now having an epidemic of thyroid cancer. Also, the Fukushima area is a mass epidemic of thyroid cancer. It's 230% above what it normally should be. Thyroid cancer is a rare thing, except when there's a nuclear event like just happened. And here's the really scary part. The whole idea about decontamination, it has been a myth since they came up with the word. There's no such thing as decontamination. What they can do is dig up the waste, they can dig up the fallout, they can dig up the contaminated earth, water, whatever, take it and move it somewhere else. That's what decontamination is. It doesn't exist. We can't stop Fukushima. We can't go around and pick up all the pieces of plutonium that have been spread around the world. So it's part of our lives now. We can contain Fukushima. They haven't done it yet. It's still uncontained for 5 years. But once even we contain it, we have to live with the repercussions of what has been released. So at this point, if there is a solution, and I really don't see one, the best option is to stop producing it. We can't produce this anymore. The biosphere cannot support this kind of activity. I don't want anyone to be terrified to live in this world, but I do want people to be educated. And with the information age, ignorance is a choice now. It's time for people to start researching and saying, because I don't want anyone saying, oh, he said. That's not what this is about. It's about, here are the facts, take advantage of them.